The claim in Advaita Vedanta is this entire universe which we are experiencing. How do we experience it? Waker's world, this one. The dreamer's world, when you sleep and dream. And the deep sleep darkness. These are the three types of experiences which we have. Variations, all of them appear and disappear like the snake in the rope. They appear and disappear not on a rope, on you, the consciousness. That consciousness is the Turiyam. Can you really say, just like the snake was never born really, never died really, this universe which you experience, you are experiencing it in your consciousness. In your consciousness, no universe is born, it appears. No universe is produced, no universe actually evolves there. It appears, it is experienced, it disappears. Do you see now how it begins to make sense when Gaudapada says, there is no origination, there is no cessation of the universe, this play of consciousness and matter. It's very interesting if you take the different points of view. Quickly, let's take the materials. I'll go through the entire range of views you get in Indian philosophy. The materialist's point of view, which is of course very popular. It's the most popular point of view at that time in ancient India and today in 21st century in Manhattan too. What is the materialist point of view? Consciousness is produced out of matter. So matter and energy and all, they evolve into living matter, bodies, into nervous systems and brains, and somehow mind and consciousness are produced by the brains and nervous systems. So consciousness emerges out of matter. This is the materialist point of view. In ancient India, these people were called Charvakas, the materialist point of view. Is consciousness, mind, consciousness, awareness, sentience, these are epiphenomenal. Like you burn a candle and light and heat emerges from that. Similarly, when the biochemical reactions are going on in the body and the brain, consciousness somehow, the operative word is somehow. Till today, the doctors, neuroscientists, nobody knows how. They're working hard on it. And they have called it the hard problem of consciousness. I often mention this. David Chalmers here, who is in NYU, the Mind-Brain Science Consciousness Unit. He coined the term the hard problem of consciousness. How can an objective piece of matter, the brain, nervous system, how can it generate a completely different thing called a subjective first-person experience? We don't know. We just don't know. How does mind emerge out of matter? There's an old joke in philosophy classes when they talk about mind-matter dualism. What is mind? No matter. What is matter? Never mind. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that. It's an old joke. But it goes to the heart of the problem. Now they have called it the hard problem of consciousness. And if you Google it, it's all over. I mean, there are different branches, psychologists, philosophers, computer scientists, neuroscientists, linguists. They're all trying to understand and crack this hard problem of consciousness. How can matter give rise to consciousness? But that's the view of the materialist. Because matter is the ultimate reality. So, if there is something called consciousness, it must arise out of matter. There's no other way. We will not consider any other alternative. That's one point of view. In India, it was called the Charvaka point of view. The second point of view is just the opposite. It's the point of view of religion, of the theistic religion. In Hinduism, when you talk about God creating the universe, so a universe is created, a universe is produced, it exists and is destroyed, and that's what God is supposed to do. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. In Sanskrit, God projects, not actually creates, but projects the universe, maintains the universe, and reabsorbs the universe at the end of the cosmic cycle. So, depending upon your choice of deity, you can say Vishnu does it, or Shiva does it, or the Divine Mother, Kali or Durga does it. Or the same ideas there in the theistic religions. In Christianity, in Islam, in Judaism, God creates the universe. Is the universe created? Yes, very much so. Where is it created from? Is God consciousness? Yes, definitely. Whatever your idea of God in whichever religion, nobody will say God is a block of stone. They'll say God is consciousness, God is sentient. So the material universe, matter, time, space, energy, emerges out of consciousness. If you take the principle behind it, this is just the opposite of the materialist approach, Charvaka. So the theistic approach, whether in Hinduism or in any other theistic religion, that matter emerges out of consciousness. Second approach. Third approach is the eternal duality of consciousness and matter. This is held by Sankhya philosophy, by Yoga philosophy, by Jaina philosophy. They say neither emerges out of the other. Consciousness is eternal. Matter, space, time, energy, eternal. So this time, space, matter, energy, they lump it together and give it one word: Prakriti, nature. Prakriti, that's a Sanskrit word for nature. Nature is eternal. It is not produced from something else. And what about consciousness? Consciousness is also a fundamental reality. It coexists with nature like two parallel lines. Consciousness, Sanskrit word for Purusha. Nature, Sanskrit word for Prakriti, they eternally coexist. Neither one produces the other, and they interact. The interaction of consciousness and nature is samsara. If that sounds too abstract, it's not at all abstract. It's very much concrete for us. Right now, what you consider yourself to be right now, is an interaction of nature and consciousness, Prakriti and Purusha. You, the sentient being, with this body provided to you by nature, with this mind provided to you by nature, you are one package with the two components, Purusha and Prakriti, and this is samsara. So this parallel coexistence of consciousness and matter and energy and time and space, this is the view of Sankhya, Yoga philosophy, Patanjali Yoga philosophy, Jaina philosophy. Next comes the Buddhists. I am taking one point of view, the Tibetan Buddhists, the Mahayana Buddhists, specifically Madhyamika and Vijnanavada point of view. What they say is, yes, matter, nature, and the objective universe, and the subjective consciousness, the two, the self and the non-self, both are empty. They are neither produced from each other, nor are they continuing parallelly with each other. The real nature of both is emptiness, shunyata. They have terms for that, dharma shunyata, by which they mean the emptiness of the objective universe. And Pudgala Nairatmya, Dharma Nairatmya and Pudgala Nairatmya. Nairatmya means the self, non-self nature. The self itself is, if you analyze it, it reveals as empty. There is no such thing as a self. And what about the external universe? No such thing as the external universe. So both consciousness and matter are revealed to be empty, shunya. That is the Buddhist approach. And if anybody is philosophically trained, yes, I am oversimplifying a little bit. I can see if a philosopher might be rolling his eyes. But for this purpose, it will bring out what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to just simplify and put the different points of view in one framework. Then comes the non-dualist framework, which we are talking about, where consciousness alone is the reality, and that which we take to be the non-conscious, matter, time, space, bodies, our samsara, this world, these are appearances in consciousness, not apart from consciousness. Just like a dream, when you go to sleep and dream, all the things that you see in the dream have no existence apart from your own mind. In the same way, this entire universe which we experience has no existence apart from consciousness, non-dual. The consciousness is non-dual, meaning there is no second thing apart from consciousness. Non-dual, not two. So there is no second thing apart from consciousness. If this non-dual consciousness is somehow regarded as the other, as a non-dual reality, then you get Kashmiri Shaivism, which talks about the Paramashiva, Prakasha Vimarsha Swarupa, of the nature of light, of consciousness, Prakasha, light like consciousness, and reflectivity, self-awareness, Prakasha Vimarsha Swarupa. Of course, in Kashmiri Shaivism also, Shiva is your real nature, but that's not so stressed so much as the Shiva nature is stressed. Or you can get another variety of non-dualism, which is what we are talking about, which is what Gaudapada is talking about.